Sam Stone at San Diego Comic-Con 2025 here with some of the makers behind Alien Rogue Incursion. Get the Evolved Edition out on September 30th on PlayStation 5 and PC. So in terms of taking this, because it was such an immersive experience with the original launch of Rogue Incursion last year and full VR, how was it kind of like taking that experience and finding a way to cleanly transition it to a non-VR experience for the Evolved Edition?
Really, the trick there is to focus on what made the VR version like magical. That immersion level, the action and the fear of the Xenomorph, their intelligence and how they traverse the environment and always surprise the player. You want to keep that. And then take the unique mechanics that are only available in VR and transfer that to flat screen, right? And that's it, making sure the shooting, reloading of the weapons, the equipment, how we interact with the world. We still want it to be immersive. We want it to keep proper kind of interaction time. It's still an action horror game, so you don't want to go too far in one direction and everything's just a button and it happens, right? You want to make sure there's still an immersion level that VR provides really well for you. The rest is magic.
But I would say part of that transition is the things we want to preserve is the feeling of being in the world of Alien, right? So the miasma, the audio, the weird screeches, the things that create the tension and the dread of being in that world have to come across. And the advantage, actually, that we gain going from VR to PC and console is that it frees up significant graphics and CPU horsepower. So instead of rendering for both eyes, we're just rendering once. So it allows us to preserve the fidelity and then touch all the other stuff around it.
And you're able to raise attention even farther than you could in VR because things like miasma, which is extremely important in a world of Alien, that's what kind of conceals the Xenomorph and makes him even more terrifying because you don't know whether it's there or not. Now we have miasma that's physically simulated. So as the Xenomorph runs through it, you will see it part. And it creates not only a visual effect, but super immersive and kind of terrifying when all of a sudden you see the air move around you.
And one of the things I love about Rogue Incursion compared to, say, Alien Isolation, which was more just straight-up survival horror, is you do kind of thread the balance between the horror of the original Alien movie and the kind of sci-fi action from Aliens. Like, how is it maintaining that balance and translating that experience as you work on the the Evolved Edition?
Well, one of our sort of creative pillars for the game was, or the idea, the mantra was, if Isolation is a love letter to the first film, we're going to be a love letter to the second film. So we were heavily inspired by James Cameron's Aliens, the idea of having a character with greater agency that could push back against that darkness. But what we did want to borrow, a little bit from the first film was the terrifying nature of the Xenomorph. In that first film, that Xenomorph it seems to be invincible. It's everywhere, it's nowhere, you can't see it coming, you can't hear it, and that's truly terrifying. So we want to lock the player into a facility filled with that sort of Xenomorph.
Yeah, just adding a little bit more to the pillars that TQ is mentioning. One of them was respect the Xenomorph, and means they're extremely lethal. If you do let one slip through you, several hits and you're dead. You're not surviving that. The other one is keep your head kind of on a swivel. They can come from absolutely anywhere, and a lot of work really went into how to make the Xenomorph navigate the environment to be able to hide in plain sight, to surprise you. And this is all dynamic behavior. This is not a scripted behavior. If it exists, they exist, they roam the environment, they're searching for you, and that creates that dread, but also you are empowered, you do have the weapons to deal with a threat, and that creates that action horror kind of binding together.
And for those that are interested on that action horror and this fresh perspective that the Evolved Edition provides, Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition out on September 30th on PlayStation 5 and PC. This has been Sam Stone here at San Diego Comic-Con 2025 with Den of Geek. Gentlemen, thank you for talking about all things Alien with me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.